Hey y'all, I'm Sunny.
Hey, I'm Liv, and this is
Colorful
Colorful
Situations,
Situations, a conversation about love, marriage, and everything in between. Yes, y'all know us. You know, welcome back, ColorBeams.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you for joining
hey.
us. Today we are going to talk about welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Walk on across this threshold. Walk right over me.
Don't do too much.
Have you ever felt like you bent over backwards for someone, or like you were being walked on, taken for granted? Almost like that welcome mat that you put at your door.
Mine now says check your energy at the door. Thanks to my wife. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Feeling like being taken for granted, or knowing that you're being taken for granted, and you kind of just welcome it in. You think that's the thing?
Yes, I think it's a thing because people with open hearts,
Big hearts.
yeah, those people sometimes allow that because they don't know any other way. Or two, they hadn't learned
any other way.
Or three, from their own experiences, they decided that they were just gonna stay that way. So they haven't learned. But yeah, definitely, it's a real thing because I said before, people will use you until they use you up, and that's that overflow. People will use you.
Yes.
So yes, I think being a welcome mat is definitely a real thing.
It is. I do agree that it's a real thing. I know, I may or may not have put out a couple of mats myself. But it's definitely a real thing. And there's no laughing matter, right? But people can take advantage of you, and you can play into that.
Yes.
Why we do so, I don't know. Why we're so taking advantage, especially as women, because we're taught to be so nurturing. Is that something that's just embedded in us to do for people? Not every woman, because there are some that are not as nurturing.
I think that maybe because we are the softer side of the rib, nurturing part. But after enough things happen, you ought to figure out. You figure out that you need to do something different. And some people don't, like I said, because it's just ingrained in them. But okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, so before we just dig a little bit deep into that, we're gonna check our emotions and where we are today, because we always do that. We check in on our feeling wheel. So, where you at, girl? Where you at?
Here I am again. I'm content. So I am
green.
It seems kind of judgy. It seems just a little judgy. Did y'all get that? A little judgy. Okay. Yes, she is correct. I am green. I'm content with what's going on. I feel like it's things are going pretty good. So yeah, I'm staying there. I'm staying.
Okay.
How are you feeling today?
I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying. I have been all over the game, and y'all know. But again, maybe that comes down to her being one side and me being the other side. I be everywhere.
Well, let me be clear. I have been everywhere.
Okay.
And I'll probably be everywhere one day again. But right now, I've been in my, as they say, the seasons. I've been in my green season.
Okay.
But everything is good. It's chill. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get into my green season. But today, I'm in my orange. My orange.
Not orange.
Orange. My orange season. I think I've been here before, but I'm aware. I'm alert. I'm aware. And not that I like everything that I am being aware of, but I'm thankful that it's coming to my eyesight, and I'm glad that I'm learning to see it for what it is instead of just ignoring it. So I am orange. Yes, I'm orange. I'm aware.
Okay, that's good. We're glad that your eyes are wide open, that you're seeing some things that you hadn't seen before, and we are looking forward to you crossing over to green. Yeah, cross over.
I will go to the light.
Go to the light, Caroline.
I will go to the light. So y'all know what we're talking about. We're talking about just bending over backwards for other people, or being the one that is always doing something. for people, or being taken advantage of. If you find yourself in the same situation, this colorful situation of the other person always got their hand out and you always putting into it, or just, and it may not be anybody that is your lover. It could be family, your friends. It could be your family. It could be, oh, well, we know so and so got it. Tell so and so to do it because she does it the best. She's always so great at it. But it doesn't mean that we always need to have so and so do it because she's the best at it. Right. We just take it for granted. So in saying that, is there something that you can do, or is there something that you have done that put out that mat for them to make them think that they could just walk all over you? So, I got some questions.
I'm listening.
My first question is, did you put it out? Like, did you actually give them access to be able to walk over you?
So this is one of those topics that I don't necessarily have personal experience with, but I know people. So as I said before, my wife is one of the best people I know. And before I came along, she was one of those people that everybody called to do everything, and she would do it because she's just that person. She'll give you the shirt off her back, the shoes off her feet, she'll just do all of that because that's just the type of person she is. And we know that I'm not. I ask questions. I need to know what's going on before I make a move. Listen. Anyway, but I actually had a conversation with her kind of early on. Well, not early on, but kind of after I sat back and kind of was looking like, oh, okay, so your friends call you for this? Yeah. Everybody calling you for all this other kind of stuff. Just saying that, you have to be mindful. Yeah. You have to be mindful when you are someone's go-to person, because who is your go-to person? Yeah. Do you have a person to go to in your time of need? And if not, just kind of, you have to sit back and reevaluate the people around you. And I'm not saying that everybody's a user or everybody's, a manipulator or trying to take advantage, but people that are those people that always need something from you, they get in the habit of it so much that they maybe don't even realize
that they're doing it.
Right. Maybe they don't realize that they calling you for everything. Right. Everything. For me, it's what are we doing for ourselves? Yeah. So, and I use my wife as an example because, that's just the first thing that came to my head. But yeah, I know. Yes.
It's hard no over there. Like,
Listen, you gotta be.
Yeah, for real. And you're right. We do teach people how to treat us, right? And you may not physically just be throwing it out there and just saying, hey, come walk over me. But what in our communication, what in our like showing up and doing everything, like not putting people on red sometimes, like all of these things, when they call you, you pick up on the second and they know you're going to pick up on the second. Whenever they be like, oh, can you just run by, da, 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 and they know you're not going to ask for the money up front. Right. Right. Those are all things that are teaching people like, oh, well, she's not going to ask me for no money, so I could just ask her to go and run to the store. She'll go get all of my groceries.
Or the fact that we know that she's not going to say no.
That part.
We know that she's not going to say no.
That part.
And she's not going to ask questions.
Right. And not knowing that no is a full sentence and you don't have to give a reason and all of that. People understand, or people will learn how to treat you by what you do, right, and by what you say. And so that's me in my mind saying you just put the mat out there for them because of what you're doing in your own personal thing. Like you said that some people are not doing it intentionally. Some are not doing it intentionally. Some know exactly what they're doing and they're not going to stop until you say, hey, until you teach them a different way.
Is this the one that says, got one? Well, those people that say got one?
Those people.
Okay.
Those people are just those people who just want to see if they can get by. Because there are those people that are like that. Well, let me just see if I can I have the money in my pocket, or I can do it, but I don't feel like it, so let me just see.
Yeah. Let me see if they'll do it for me.
Right. Let me just test
so I can keep mine.
Yeah, that part. And speaking of that, it could be like someone that is younger than you, a younger cousin, a sister, a younger sister, a brother, or your children. Like, oh, mama, that, auntie.
Yeah.
Oh, auntie will give me the money. Oh, auntie will pay my cell phone bill.
I ask questions.
Yeah, auntie will pay insurance. Auntie, you know what I'm saying, or grandma, or whoever it is, uh, that tend to just be there for you all the time. They may just go and do it just because they can.
And that really gives people a bad rep.
Yeah.
You kind of, when you do that and people get host to it or people open their eyes to it, it's like you mess the thing up for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real.
Especially if you're dealing with a person, depending on who you're dealing with, you mess the thing up for everybody.
Right. Because it's going on lockdown.
Child, listen, say you want to go and borrow some money from somebody. Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah. You'll get my money back. You don't get the money back. So now can't nobody come to you for nothing. You done mess the thing up for everybody.
That's true.
And the people that really need it. And not saying that those people maybe didn't really need it, but the way they just went about handling the whole situation was just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, and that's true. So I don't think that in saying all this, there are people who are users, but do people just, do your close family members just seek you out to do that? I don't know if they just seek you out because they feel like you're somebody that is weak. And I don't feel like putting out that mat or being kind is a weakness.
Right.
Now, some people may think that it or look at it that way, and that's why they try to take advantage of you because they may feel like it's a weakness. But it's not. Being kind and being compassionate about someone or giving someone the shirt off your back is actually a very admirable thing to do. And there's not a lot of people that really do it from their heart and not ask for anything.
Right.
And so if you are that person, you do have to, keep your eye open a little bit to help those who you can help, without being taken advantage of, because you do have to protect yourself too.
And that makes me think, I have two people that I always say they're gonna be the first ones at the gate. Listen, my TT Sweet Love, my auntie,
Sweet Love,
my TT Sweet Love. I mean, since I was younger, she's just always been such a giving person.
Yeah.
To me, that's how I see her, as like a really giving person.
Yeah.
Her and my wife right behind her. And they just, and here comes, it just makes me think about, here comes me talking about, why you doing this? Or why you doing that? Or it makes it seem like I'm which shoulder is it?
Yeah. The little devil over there.
Yeah, I'm the other one over there, like, no, you might need to wait. But it's just in them.
Yeah.
And that's just the people that they are.
Yeah.
So,
like that. I mean, it's true. It is people out there that just is like that and they just give or whatever, and so for me, it makes me think about, we always say everybody is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason and a need for people to be in this world that are just kind and compassionate like that. Should there be more kind and compassionate people? Yes, I do think so. And just a little, we put a little pin in it. I do feel like more people should be generous and kind, and have a little bit more humility about themselves, because it's my belief that is what the universe made us to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the one thing that the universe is asking us, or that God is asking us to do, is to love each other and treat each other like we want to be treated. And if we can do that, then there won't be no takers or no givers or no one over the other. It'll be a balance. But there's not, because we are yet human and not a lot of people can love that way. But my next question is, are you able to stop or retrain someone to not take advantage of you?
I think so. Definitely. Because once you figure out what's going on, or once you see I'm being taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, I feel like relationships are beneficial.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's always monetary, or I'm not saying that it's nothing materialistic.
Right.
But if you're taking from me and I just see it, I should be able to say, okay, well, I've been drained. I'm drained.
Right.
I should be able to come to my senses. I'm not saying those people out of their senses, but I should be able to come to my senses and say, I need to do something different because this relationship is not benefiting me. Mm. Or even just weigh the pros and cons of how it's benefiting you. And when you do that and you just kind of stop, just stop doing what you're doing. Hey, can I have some more, please? All of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think you can retrain somebody how to treat you.
You can. You definitely can. But I will play devil's advocate for someone who has a kind and big heart and it's just in them to do. It's very hard to do the opposite.
Well, let me ask you this. What does it take? What is it going to take to see that this goodness that you're pouring from your heart and giving to other people, or maybe one person in particular? What is it going to take for you to open your eyes?
Me being someone who will probably consider themselves having a big heart. It's going to take a lot more than it takes those who doesn't have a big heart. And it's something that's internal. No matter what anybody else says, or no matter how much I think that I'm like, okay, I see you over there. I see you. It's just something in me. As like I've said before, I'm a Cancer. I'm very emotional. I'm very latched on to people. I am a lot. But anyway, so for me, it's something internal. No matter what that person says or does, or no matter what anybody else says or do about the situation, it's just something in me that just goes click. So once the switch is on, it's on, and I'm like Georgia Power. You can just get the power. You get it all, whatever. But once you know how people or the electricity company has a threshold to where once your bill gets to so high, then it ain't nothing you can say. You gonna come home, you ain't gonna have no. It's just that quick. When I have enough of feeling a certain type of way, then I'm gonna do something about it.
So you don't say, "Oh, well, yeah, I've seen this before," or not, and that's not comparing people or comparing situations, or just having this thing that's in the back of your head, like, well, this is what makes me feel that way. This is what makes me feel this way.
Yeah.
And once I start feeling that, then maybe I should. You don't have that thing in your head that says that?
I don't. And I feel like it's because everybody with me get a fair shake. So you know how some people, they curve what they do by their experiences, like way. Like they'll be an open, kind-hearted person. Somebody comes in and take it for granted, and then the next person, like you said, you mess it up for everybody, and then the next person, they got this big old mansion wall up around them and they're not gonna do anything. That's not me. Everybody gets a fair and clean slate. I just don't go into it as in thinking, oh, this person, because that situation was that. It's just a different situation, a different person. So now I'm open again until something inside of me says, okay. Now I will say this. It may come a little bit quicker on the next turn around, but it's not just out the gate like, oh, let me just stand back and let you earn it or whatever. And that's something that, again, the reason why I'm going through therapy, to figure out some things about how I think and how I maneuver. Maybe that will change once I get into that. But what I am learning through the whole process of learning myself is that the way that I am may be different, but it's okay. I may get beat up a little bit more than somebody else, but it's okay. I may be taken advantage of and fall in love quick, or give whatever to anybody or a stranger, but it's okay.
Well, I'll say, people that know me know that I'm very kind-hearted. If you don't know me, then you might be like, don't even go over the other side. But to know me is to know that I'm kind-hearted, I'm generous, and I give everybody a fair shake too.
Yeah.
But see, when you said that, it makes me think about my wife, because we had a conversation once before where she is something like and giving people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So with me, you have to prove that you're what you are. But for her, it's like, oh, well, no, I'm just going to take you, and then it's going to take da-da-da-da-da. So it's I guess in me, and knowing that people will let you down, take advantage, do all of these things. I'm not treating you bad off the rip, but I am still just that one eye. You got a little one eye on you.
You got to jump through hoops. You got to go through this. You can't know this and that about it. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I'm done. I'm not going back and forth with you.
No, but that just goes to show that, humanity, everybody is different. There are people who have that innate in them to be like, no, you're going to have to show and prove.
Yeah.
Right? And there are some that are like, oh, well, come on in. Oh, you did this? You did that? You did? Okay, well, go on out.
But see, that's when it's hard to get them out. See, right there, it's hard to get them out when you let them in. It's hard to get them out.
That is true. That's so true. But if everybody was one way,
that's true. Yeah.
if everybody was one way, then we won't have the experiences that we had.
Right.
And it does take some people different experience to learn things.
Right.
Right. You may be quicker to learn something than I am on certain issues, and then vice versa on other issues. But I say all that to say, I think that we need to look at this. Whatever you do and whatever you go through is all about the testimony. It's all about the lessons in life. It's all about how you grow from them, how you either let them change you or don't let them change you.
Yeah.
It's just life, y'all. We just lifing.
Try to get yourself together.
Okay, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's time to check. It's time to check the levels after we get through life and then being a doormat and all of those type of things.
And getting yourself together.
Let's check the levels. And y'all know how we do that. We're checking to see if you're in a situation, in this colorful situation of feeling like you're being taken advantage of, or just not feeling appreciated, or just feeling like you're the one that always get walked on. So what's the levels?
So if you are there, you feel like somebody been stomping on you like some little soldiers.
These boots are made for walking.
Listen,
this is what I do.
You're in the red. You're in the red.
Yes.
If you're opening your eyes and you're able to see these things and kind of start thinking about them to see what your next move should be or could be, you're in the yellow.
Yeah.
And if you have just kind of put your own foot down and said, this is what's going and this is what not, well, you can kind of be in the yellow too. You have to put your foot down and then have a good balance. You're in the green.
Yeah, you'll be like my friend if you can have those hard nose and know your boundaries and don't, test those people to jump over the fire and through the limits and the walls. You're in the green.
Not going back and forth.
So, as we do all the time, we want to give some results to this because somebody may be in this situation or maybe feeling like, you know what, I feel like this at work. I feel like this with my children. I just feel like this all the time. And I'm in that state. So we're going to give you some results. And no, we are not experts. We always say that.
I'm an expert in my life. She's not an expert, but I'm an expert.
I'm trying to get the certificate so that I can get paid for it. So a result would be, just disconnect. Like you said, we can teach people how to treat us. So just don't engage. If that means don't pick up the phone the first time they call you. Because you're probably their go-to guy.
Yeah.
So they're going to call you first.
Yep.
So don't pick it up the first time that they call you, especially if you haven't talked to them in a while. Don't pick it up. Let them call that next person. They may get it. Then they won't call you back.
Okay.
Just disengage.
Okay. It's a little harsh, but okay. And that's coming from me. So,
take that mad back.
I would say just take some time and evaluate or reevaluate your relationships with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that makes a difference.
That's true. And most importantly, find your voice. When you reevaluate and you find out where you are and what situations does not serve you well, use your voice. Let them know. Yeah, I can't do that for you. No is a full sentence and it doesn't need an explanation.
Got it. So y'all know we like to be interactive. We're going to ask some questions here and post them down in the comments. So comment. We want to know what you're thinking. So have you found yourself in a situation where you were the welcome mat?
Welcome.
Or can you be honest with yourself and say that you were that person walking all over somebody?
Just walking.
Can we get some honesty out here?
Yes.
Okay. If so, and you were that welcome mat, what opened your eyes to it? What opened your eyes to it? And what did you do about it? And for those people that are being honest, that they were on the other side of that, how did you talk yourself out of being a
user?
Welcome mat walker over.
User.
I didn't want to say user, but she did.
User.
And lastly, how are you keeping yourself out of it? We talked about how things can change, how you can teach people how to treat you. Yeah. And, how did you stay strong, steadfast, and not falling back into those old routines of picking up the phone on the first ring or always being there for someone that you're not benefiting from?
Right. Yeah. So we always do the summary, and the summary is, do you put that welcome mat out there? Do you teach people how to treat you? And if you're feeling like somebody is taking you for granted, then like she said, the resolve is reevaluate, figure out what your connection is with that person. Just disengage. Maybe take some time away from them so you can figure it out. And then once you find it, use your voice.
Yeah. So we just had this good conversation.
Yes.
We appreciate you all showing up and showing out in the comments.
Thank you, ColorBeams.
But make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. We are here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your hue.